Guys, I'm gonna be trying to beat Steeple of Towering Pillars today, so I'll just make multiple videos on. I've already gotten to floor 5, and I hope I complete it soon, but if I don't complete it soon in this video, which I probably won't, and if I don't complete it like soon, at least I'll probably get some clip farms. Okay, come on. You cannot be serious. Although, if those who wonder, I can't speak. For those who, I've been gone for a while from my YouTube channel. So for those who've been like wondering, I've just been doing stuff. I mean, I've only posted a few shorts, and one long-form. Also, the Cole series is not happening because I beat Cole's, unsurprisingly. And since then, I've actually beaten a lot of towers. As you can see in the top right corner, if you check, I've beaten 181 towers. And since then, my hardest back then was Cole's, and then I beat EToH. I also beat TOBBB. And Tower of Tokyo Heights I beat shortly after the video. That fail was pretty rough. I've also gone to beat TOTS, Tower of Eternal Suffering, and I have 4-8 Tower of Extreme Dystopia, but I failed it twice. Okay, come on. But I failed 4-8 of TOED twice. And so, recently, so that's rough. Next time I'll get there, I'll probably post a short about clip farming or failing, or hopefully completing it. So, this video, if you don't know already, it's going to be mostly talking about my channel updates and what I hope to do in this channel more. So, that's most of the updated things. I also went and decided to beat every easy, medium, and difficult tower. That took me a while to do. And right now, SoTP, I'm just trying to go for it as a new hardest just to see if I can do it or not. So for this channel, unfortunately, since I'm on mobile channels can't stream until like they hit 50 subscribers, and I hope to eventually start streaming playing EToH for you all, even though like I know like probably right now there's no viewers who consistently watch my channel because I went like silent like 5 months ago. But anyways, I hope to, like I said, I hope to start streaming, and I also hope to keep making shorts about clip farming and my fails, and hopefully I'll start making shorts when I come. Hopefully I can't speak today, but hopefully I can start posting more completion videos and shorts out there as well, so I can I just hope that this channel can grow more. So from now on, I'm going to be discussing my EToH journey and how I got into EToH. So, and if you're just bored, I mean, you can click off right now if you don't want to listen to me just yap for a long time. But so, if I'm being honest, I don't know exactly when it started. It was like sometime of March 2025. It was like I was like really bored, and I had been in EToH before. Like, I had beaten Toast already, but it was like for like 5 minutes, and after that I'm like, oh cool, now let's move on to another game. But later I ended up finding EToH, and I decided, hey, why not, try stuff. So first of all, I tried out like Ring 1 stuff, and I quickly progressed. I remember Tower of, what was it? Oh yeah, my first Tower of Heck took me like 2 days to beat. But they weren't like non-stop, they were like grinding for like an hour each day. Just, at this point, I didn't really know all like the lore about EToH. Are you kidding me? I didn't really know all the lore and stuff about EToH, or like this was like, keep in mind, this was like 2 months after the Jukawa situation, and I had like no clue about that, so I was just playing this game for fun. And eventually it was like slowly, I beat Tower of Madness, Tower of Noticeable Infuriation, Tower of Heck, Tower of Killjoys, Tower of Keyboard Eating, Tower of Stress, Tower of Screen Punching, Tower of Rage, and Tower of Impossible Expectations took me like a week and on and off grinding, because that was the first tower I really struggled with. And then I tried to go for TOTS. Usually when people go for TOE, they usually go for TOTS, and they have a good experience with it, and they're like, oh yay, I skipped like an entire difficulty. Or they just do Coles first and then go for TOTS, and they're like, yeah, yada yada yada, oh yeah. But for me, progressing up to the Remorseless difficulty was not that easy. I tried to go for TOTS, but could not get past floor 4. And I did that for like a week, and I could not get past floor 4 a single time. So I just decided to drop it and decided to do other things instead. Like I said, I ended up beating Coles, and then I decided I should probably slow down with EToH and start doing easier towers. So I branched out to things like Ring 2, Ring 3, more Forgotten Ridge stuff, and as well as like Ring 4 and Ring 5. And I also branched out to some of the zones, but I wasn't really doing that well in them. I enjoyed most of the purism in Ring 1, and although there were purism in other towers, it just felt like I liked the Ring 1 towers better. But I did eventually grow to enjoy them, and so probably I don't know how long, like a week or 2 goes by, and then I'm like tired of playing all the easy towers, so I decide to go for Tower of Holy Flip, which it wasn't hard. I beat it within like 4 days. Like, since I beat it within 4 days, I'm like, okay, I should probably beat another one around the same difficulty before attempting to progress up to Remorseless. So I decided to progress up to Remorseless to beat Tower of Table Flipping, which, by the way, for some reason it's easier than Tower of Holy Flip, but it's really not. It's technically easier in EToH rating standards, but I heavily disagree with that, because to me it's just not that easy. TOTF is just much harder with like all the thin studs and stuff, but eventually, after a while, I beat that. And then for some reason I was very hesitant to go to the first rem, so I'm like, you know what, let's beat another one. And that's where Tower of Tokyo Heights came from. Keep in mind, my Tower of Tokyo Heights video was actually made before my BBB short, but I just found it later and decided to post it. It was actually made earlier, but I really didn't. That was back when I just recorded. I wasn't thinking of, posting maybe a little content. And so back then I beat Tower Tokyo Heights, and then back then I'm like, that's when I saw Bundun attempting TOAF, and this I decided to attempt TOAF because I'm like, back then I was like, well, I can beat some YouTuber who has very poor skills at the game, not realizing how poor skills I had. So eventually, after a week, I beat TOAF with failing floor 10 like 5 times. And I decided, well, let's go for another rem. So that's where my TOBBB thing came from. And so I went for TOBBB. Honestly, one of my favorite towers. Really enjoyed it. My favorite rem so far. So I eventually completed it after the floor 9 clip farm. That wasn't even like, back then I would've said I got RNG'd, but I was just being really stupid. I don't know what happened. I know what happened, but I don't know why I did that. But like, the thing with most of EToH is that this is back then when I started like watching EToH YouTubers and learning about EToH lore and stuff like that, because I was very interested in it. And so after beating TOAF, I'm like, let's go for something else. Or TOBBB, I'm like, I want to go for another rem, but I don't know what rem to go for. So I thought of it. I was thinking have nonsensical platforms, but then I realized that the last time I made it to like floor 4 and then failed the flick, and I just did not want to play the tower ever again. So I'm like, telling every mistake, but then I realized it's over 20 minutes long, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna sit because even for like difficults, it takes me like I've done a difficult before, and it has taken me like an hour to do a difficult that has no difficulty meter on how long it is. That's just how bad I am at loop failiness. But eventually I settled on rematching TOTS as a tower that I could beat. At first I was pretty hesitant to beat it because of floor 4, but eventually I got that down. And I was ready to try to face on floor 9. Floor 4 actually wasn't the reason why I was scared of TOTS, because I knew I could eventually pass it. It was floor 9. So, floor 9 TOTS led to many devastating fails. Like, mainly, I fell to 7 and just loop failed for like 3 attempts until I fell. I didn't catch myself on 7 and just fell all the way down. But eventually I started making it past the stick out on TOTS. And I actually made it to floor 10 3 times. 2 of the times I failed the outside, specifically the latter part with the headers, just because of how buggy the head hitters were. I like hit my head a bunch and it was not great, but I eventually beat it. Super stoked, ready to go for another new hardest. And I'm like, how about I go for Tower of Extreme Dystopia? So I tried it out for like a while, and then I eventually just stopped playing it because I would hardly even get to floor 4 if I was lucky once per day, which is not great progress. So I ended up dropping EToH and decided to go for Tower of Eternal Suffering in Ring 2. Tower of Eternal Suffering was my longest, long story short, it was my longest grind ever in EToH. But SoTP might be a longer grind, honestly. Took me forever to, even though the first 6 floors are completely free, my nemesis was the 12 stud on floor 8 and floor 8 outside. You don't know, there were so many times where I was so excited because I got past the 12 stud just to fail the outside because of some stupid long jump. Anyways, eventually I got into a really big Tower of Eternal Suffering slump, and for a week I could not get past the 12 stud. And then I made it to floor 9 once. It wasn't really that much progress, but it made me feel way more motivated to attempt it more because I knew I could get past 8. So I slowly started putting the attempts in and decided I'm gonna try to do this tower more. And then I realized that I was actually making it good progress into 8, even if I did fail the outside. I wasn't really failing 12 stud much anymore, and it was only a matter of time before I made it to 10. I remember the first time I made it to 10, I thought I was gonna beat it. I thought I was gonna beat it because 10 was relatively easy. There were only 2 hard long jumps that you just had to set up, and you'd be fine. But then disaster struck. Let's say I failed a jump that I had to climb. It was a 1 stud. I was supposed to climb it, but then I didn't end up jumping far enough. So I ended up falling all the way down to 1. And if you know this about Tower of Eternal Suffering, it's the same as TOTS. It's super empty. So if you fall, because there are certain points where it can catch you. On the 12 stud, you can be caught by a spinner below you if you're lucky. But if you don't get caught by the spinner, you're getting sent all the way back down to 1. So I would say that was the worst part of Tower of Eternal Suffering, was the punishment. But eventually, I think actually 30 minutes later, I got to floor 10 and I beat it, which was, honestly, it was probably my loudest reaction that I've ever had from an EToH tower. But then after that, I went back into a state of beating easier towers. That's when I decided to beat all easy, medium, hard, difficult towers. Because I decided that I didn't want to really attempt rems, and because I had gone on my rem streak, beating 4 rems in a month. And I decided that I needed a little break from rems. And that was about 3 months ago, so I've just continued mainly playing easier towers, more modern towers. My current favorite tower is Tower of 1-9. People dislike it, but I think it's good. It is very loop faily though, so I can see why people don't like it. My second favorite tower is probably Topla in Starlit Archives. I just really enjoy the gameplay and stuff. And also, now I'm going to be discussing my opinions on, so that's like my EToH timeline, but now I'm going to be discussing my opinions on just EToH as a game in general. I think EToH's a great game. If you haven't played it and you're watching this video, you should give it a try. Although I won't knock you if you don't like it. I've tried to show it to my friends and they didn't enjoy it either. And I don't blame them. EToH's not like those games like Grow Garden or Steel or Brain Rot where it's for everybody. It's for like mainly obbying. And if you want to get better at obbying, I'd recommend you play EToH. And I'd also recommend you check out a lot of EToH YouTubers such as Giraffio99, Nolicity, Skitsuna, heck, even, I don't think Bundun streams EToH in a while, but just check out Bundun. He's a cool creator. I'm sure you've heard of him before. If you haven't, go check out him. Also, go check out my friend Citadel. His username is, go check out my friend. His username is Citadel Wacky Strategy. He usually streams usually every night, but sometimes has delays. His streams are great for just chatting about EToH, just having a good time. And I would definitely recommend if you are just bored and you want to talk about EToH stuff in his chat. And I would also recommend that if you want to get better at EToH, the best thing I would say is make one big thing. If you want to get better at EToH, you just gotta keep playing and never give up. But that's like cliche, so. And another great thing about EToH is EToH has a very tight, I don't want to say tight-knit community because it's pretty big for Roblox community. So it has a pretty large community of people who will help you on your grinds, and they will even say like, even though it's a little as saying GG, it's everything helps with your support. So, but another big thing I would say about EToH is don't force yourself to play EToH. I know you're like, but you just said you gotta play the towers. Don't force yourself to play EToH. If you force yourself to play EToH, then EToH is not gonna be fun. That's like any game, but especially for obbying. For a while, like, I was forcing recently, it's not, like, a while ago, I was, like, forcing myself to play the game, even though I really wanted to do other stuff, and, you know, do other things. But then I felt that I enjoyed EToH more when I actually played it less, and when I wanted to play it less, I played it less. So, another thing about EToH is that you should not in EToH. Something you should not do is just please just don't say the game sucks because you're really bad at it. Like, I have seen so many people, like including some friends I know, that says just EToH sex in general, just because they can't get past like 4 or 5 on Tower of Heck. But if you don't like it, then just leave the game and move on. That's just usually the best for other EToH enjoyers and for most people. So overall, EToH is a good game. Go subscribe to my boy Cal, still have Wacky Strategy. Go search him up on YouTube, go subscribe, go like his videos. He's a great creator, and stay safe. Goodbye.